Reckless versus THC Grizzle. Final matchup of the week. Excited to see which way it goes.
Is that a ditto I see it over there?
Yeah, the Ditto finally shows its face. When I faced Grizzle week 1, I was very worried about a Ditto. I think it can do some great work against the Superior. Copying the boost, having a Scarf itself to just do what it's doing, but faster. But we shall see.
Looking at Reckless's team, he does have a decent amount of special attackers. So that Clefable will try to do some work here.
Yeah, that Charizard, it's about all the physical you can need. And it also depends on how the Landers is built. We see the swap into the Tapu Fini not liking the matchup. There's the Ice Beam. Good scout by Reckless. Good coverage on the Clefable by THC Grizzle.
We've seen THC Grizzle rely on the Ferrothorn a decent bit. Let's see if he chooses to go to it immediately, and he
It's
does.
also it's also TCH, and we're going to continue to do that. So get used to it, audience.
So he does go to the Ferrothorn, and Reckless, maybe predicting that, goes to the Zard. Reckless having Charizard X means it's a physical Zard, but 4X is 4X.
Yeah, beating the hazards out's great. Going for the Dragon Claw, possibly expecting another swap, but we see that Thorns in the Rocky Helm.
Yeah,
And
and
then
you
an attempt at the Toxic, but
can't Toxic
Misty
and
Terrain.
Misty.
Yeah. Before, when he first came out, he would have been vulnerable with the flying typing, but he grounds himself, getting the advantages of it. So bold play by Grizzle, not rewarded by too much. The recoil damage is real, though.
Yeah, I imagine we're gonna see a fire attack here. Maybe this time you, I don't know, swap to the Heatran or something.
And I gotta say, it is very scary to Dragon Dance right now with that Ditto there, because the Ditto can just come in and copy the buffs. So at first my thought was, even if you're expecting the Ferrothorn to potentially sit, getting a D-Dance off would be nice. Here we see the Clefable coming in. A Fire Move will still be good against it. That Flare Blitz,
Ooh!
96%, but that recoil damage. Big damage on the wall, but the Charizard, it has to kind of go for the kill here, and it really depends on the move pool because that Dragon Claw will not affect the Fairy. Goes for the swap, trying to save the remainder of his Charizard. Grizzle going for the Ice Beam, taking just under half of the Bisharp. Bold play, really, wanting to try and take out something with the Clefable instead of going for healing. We see a Sucker Punch fail on a switch to Rotom.
Yeah, I don't really like that Sucker Punch play there. I mean, in what world is Clefable staying in against the Steel? So,
And the main thing is the speed that I'm looking at. If I'm probably faster and I don't know Bisharp's speed well, then I'm going for the attacking moves flat out.
yeah, getting a knockoff on any of these Pokemon would be huge.
And now the the roulette wheel continues to spin as we see some swaps here, ending with Ferrothorn against Tapu Fini. Reckless's turn to swap again. Good U-turn action previously. Landers comes back out. Ferrothorn misses with the Power Whip.
Oof, that would have hit.
Very aggressive plays with this Ferrothorn. We haven't seen him try and set anything up, but we do see the Leech Seed here. We know it has the Toxic. The Landers won't get the effects of the Misty Terrain, but it should only be around for one more turn anyway. Zapdos coming out to reset the seeds. There's the spikes.
Oof.
And a Heat Wave miss, just misses all around. The Toxic able to land flying Pokemon, so would not have had the effects of the terrain anyway.
And Zapdos a common defogger, so is Tapu Fini. We've seen mostly Reckless use Tapu Fini as his defogger, but at this point, too many more spikes. But the Heat Wave's really good against Ferrothorn, so we'll probably see that Ferrothorn pull out here.
And then the question with the Zapdos is, one, does it have the defog to remove the spikes, but you don't really want to reset your rocks for one layer spikes. Does it just go for the Volt switch? Rotom Heat coming out. Heat Wave resisted 18%. Now we're going to see that Toxic start to build up so the Zapdos won't be able to sit in and wall like it really likes to. Hopefully it does have Volt Switch to kind of counteract those turns.
We haven't
Though a hard
seen.
swap is
This Rotom is
fine.
typically more offensive than doing something like Pain Split, but. Ooh, an electric move into
Oh,
the ground typing with the Z move. That's tough.
Oh,
yeah, very good read there. There's the knockoff. I wonder if it has the hidden power, but it doesn't. It has the Toxic. Toxic all over this team.
Sword
But the Landers
stance.
is offensive with the Sword Stance. The Overheat comes out. It goes down to 5%. The Toxic will finish it off.
oh!
Yikes. Sword stancing with a toxic on you is something. Here comes Bisharp, and I think this is one of those times where he's like, I'm gonna press Sucker Punch again, but we have seen Grizzle pretty willing to just pull Pokemon out at low HP. Let's see if he just leaves them out
Yeah,
and presses Overheat again.
this is a trickier one because that Overheat being super effective, even with the drop, and
Oh!
39% is good of it. But gets the defog. The Defiant comes out, so the Bisharp does get the boost. Sword Stance goes well beyond plus Ultra. There's the Sucker Punch. Just saying, I don't care if you switch out at this point. I can just get some suckers in. Here comes the Ditto to copy the ability
And
or
the
the boost
attack.
there.
Yep, this is
So it gets that negative evasion. The Ditto copying the negative evasion. What a fool. What a fool. Oh, but the Sucker
Oh!
Punch, it is not scarfed, so it was a speed tie. There's, oh no, it went for the Iron Head. Just expecting the hard swap potentially.
And now what do? You have no more
Yeah,
uh,
the priority is
priority
not there.
moves.
I feel like the Tapu Fini is what I would have liked to go for to try and resist the Sucker Punch and
Oh,
outspeed if you can. But if this thing is scarfed into the Iron Head, I assume it is, it can just kind of sweep from here.
go into the Zapdos. Probably
Just
see another
Dragon
Sucker
Claws.
Punch.
I think this thing's scarfed into the Iron Head. It's just going to keep going until it dies. There's the
Yeah.
Paralyze from the Static and
Oh!
Flinch proc.
Oh, jeez.
So little RNG both ways. With the Paralyzed, Zapdos will be able to outspeed, finish it off with the Heat Wave actually landing this
That
time.
was a crazy exchange.
But
What?
yeah, notably that Superior just coming in reckless, possibly not aware of how Dittos are typically run with those scarfs. Here comes the low punny.
And the Tapu Fini is good against the fighting moves, but this is going to kill right here. Yep. Leaving the
And
Zapdos
the Ice
in.
Punch does finish off. And we do have to remember that Reckless's team's a little beat up, but also that Clefable, I believe, is at like 4%.
Yeah.
Still possibly able to do some swap ins against the Charizard to play some mind games, forcing it to recoil itself and hurt itself even further.
You got to
But
think
Tapu
that.
Fini's going to be able, yeah, he's going to cash in on the Clefable now.
Yeah, you got to think that the Charizard does have Roost.
And back into the low punny. There's the fake out.
I don't think you can. You really have to fight this low punny as much as it sucks. You gotta just kind of press
Yeah,
Moonblast, I think.
yeah, either that or just a stab surf. It just kind of depends on what swaps you think are coming. Here comes the Victini. He went for the Moon Blast.
And this is a really bad matchup. You're kind of in a rock and a hard place at this point.
Yeah, yeah, you really want Charizard to come in here and be able to soak, but the previous damage that it's
What?
taken, that Bolt Strike's just nothing to mess with. The Charizard would have resisted it with its Dragon typing, but only at 29%. Makes it very rough.
This is gonna do it right here. Charizard is not faster, and
I assume so as well as the raw recoil off killing the Ferrothorn. Oh, it takes it 20%, gets a
oh
roost
my
off,
god,
Oh,
and we counter
wow.
chicken too
Never
quick.
say never.
the
The
Bolt
the question is,
Strike.
does it have the Dragon Dances to be able to try and sweep through this to play this long game? The Ferrothorn can come in and try and set up a seeds, but the Mega Lopunny gonna come in, go straight into the Dragon Claw. Big damage on the Lopunny. We'll definitely see a fake out here to just push the damage forward.
Look at that
24%. That's the
damage.
big number on that.
If
Is
he
he gonna
doesn't
press
miss,
return?
I feel like you got to go for the kill with the Lopunny now. You could just switch into the Ferrothorn, but that just gives him the opening to roost. It
Return.
goes for the
there it
return,
Yep.
just
is.
crushes
Yep.
the last 35%.
Oh.
And that'll do it.